Ellen, congratulations on your podcast. You have so much to celebrate from this year. When was the first time that you thought, I've got to talk about this on a podcast and it needs to be my podcast?
There's so many women who are fans of the show and really reach out to me and ask me questions. And I have this loyal fan base. And I thought, what can I do to give back? What can I do with my platform? So I just thought, let me just use my platform and let me just listen to people tell stories and let's just put some positivity out there. And I was saying in an interview not too long ago, I didn't have a tremendous amount of mentors growing up. Coming up in Hollywood, I had to learn a lot of really hard lessons. I mean, we're always learning lessons, right? But especially as a young woman navigating these shark-infested waters of Hollywood, I didn't really have a lot of women to go to and ask advice about things. And I had to learn a lot of hard lessons. And I just think if for me at this age, I'm 50 years old, if I can have conversations on this podcast and talk about things, talk to authors, talk to actors, creators, business women, business people, and shed some light on some situations and teach young people something, and they feel like they have a place to go to for advice or some sort of mentorship-like discussion, I think that's using my platform in a positive way.
You had Patrick Dempsey on. You guys had a great conversation, and I love what you and he were talking about. He was talking about how, like, when you guys were on Grace together, it was some of the best life lessons he'd ever had. Do you share that experience? Do you feel like you've learned some of your best life lessons being on the show? Absolutely.
I have. Through it, I've said to someone today, through conflict is the only way to growth. No relationships are perfect all the way through, whether it's friendships, girlfriends, boyfriends, mother, daughter, father, son, whatever it is. I think the way that our connections as human beings deepen is through conflict and growth. We can use the conflict and have nothing come out of it, but the wiser choice is to have the conflict, mean something and grow from it and deepen our connections. And hopefully the podcast does that. Hopefully people are a little more thoughtful in the way they deal with other people who might have different beliefs or think differently. I, for one, hold pretty strong opinions about, certain things. And I'm trying to learn to be less judgmental about what people think and ask more questions about why they think the way they think.
Rachel Lindsay is going to be one of your guests as well.
I have Rachel Lindsay on. We had a great conversation. She was so fun to talk to, and we had a meaningful discussion about her experience, which she trusted me enough to come on and talk about, which was really moving. And I talked to Sanjay Gupta, Patrick Dempsey, of course, Yara Shahidi. Michelle Harper is a doctor. Michelle Harper is an emergency room physician, but she wrote this incredible book called The Beauty in Breaking. And it's her experience being a physician in the emergency room. And it's just her memoir about how she's grown up with trauma, how she deals with trauma every day on her job. And we had a great conversation, her and I thought she's just fantastic. There's something about the way she wrote her memoir that it's not often it's like a doctor who can also write, so poetic.
It sounds like you've got like this really cool range of people. I do want to end things on a high note and talk about your 18 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. Just one quick question. I mean, did you ever think that, you guys would make it this far, and how great does that feel?
I never thought we would make it this far, and we have our super loyal fans to thank for it. We could never be on the air without them. If nobody was watching, they wouldn't want to keep making this show. So the fans are everything. They are the reason the show still exists. And I hope the podcast is received as I mean it as I give it, and that is as a gift to my fans. Another piece of content, another piece of my heart, and I hope they receive it with the energy that I intend it to be received.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Well, and hopefully you'll get some surprises and some really cool stuff this season, like you guys always bring.
Yes, for sure. For sure.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.